Welcome to SWIRL AI Search, the podcast that dives deep into the world of enterprise AI search. Discover how to unlock the value hidden within your internal data and accelerate your journey to actionable insights. Let's cut through the noise and find out how you can get the most out of your internal information. As befitting a podcast about AI, this episode was created with the help of Notebook LM. Please enjoy the SWIRL AI Search podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep on something I think a lot of us struggle with, and that's information overload.
Yeah, we're going to be breaking down a really interesting article that dives into this very problem that we all face and even offers up a potential solution. It starts off with this comparison that just blew my mind. Back in 1986, keeping up with your daily dose of information was kind of like reading a 10-page document. Not too bad, right?
No, totally manageable.
Right. Just a light read before dinner.
Exactly.
But here's the crazy part. Fast forward to like the early 2020s, and that same daily dose of information has skyrocketed to like 150 pages or more. No longer light reading at that point.
Yeah, it's a massive increase. And it's something that I think we can all feel, right? It's not just the amount of information, it's the constant need to filter through it all, to find what's actually important. And the article actually refers to this as like a data scavenger hunt, which they say can easily eat up a whole workday every single week. A whole workday just searching for the right information. I think a lot of people can relate to that. No wonder everyone's feeling so overwhelmed and burned out.
Absolutely. And this is where the article starts getting into potential solutions. It doesn't just dwell on the problem of too much information. It actually introduces this idea of using AI as a powerful tool, not to replace us, but to help us manage this information overload.
I like that. And they use this really cool analogy, Archimedes' lever. You know, that whole, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum.
And I shall move the world.
Yeah, the article is arguing that AI is that lever. It can amplify our ability to actually process information.
Okay, so AI is the lever, but then what's the fulcrum in this scenario? What's the thing that enables us to use this lever effectively?
That's where SWIRL comes into play. The article introduces SWIRL as a system that's specifically designed to make AI work for us in managing information overload.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. What exactly is SWIRL, and how does it actually help us manage this constant deluge of information? You can think of SWIRL kind of like a super smart search engine, but it's really built for the way that businesses work with information.
Yeah.
It helps you get connected with the exact information that you need right when you need it.
So it's not about finding any information, it's about finding the right information. Okay, I like where this is going. What makes it so different? How does it actually work?
Well, one of the key features that the article highlights is this thing called intent detection. SWIRL goes beyond just simple keywords. It actually tries to understand the context of your search, your role, your past searches, even your company's lingo. It really figures out what you mean, not just what you typed.
So you're not wasting time wading through tons of irrelevant search results just because you didn't use the perfect wording. That's pretty huge.
Exactly, and that's just one piece of it. There's also this feature called relevancy detection. It basically filters out all the noise and shows you only the most relevant information. Kind of like a highly tuned filter, so you're not bombarded with useless data.
Like having a personal research assistant who already knows what you need and only brings you the good stuff.
That's a great analogy. And another really important feature is connectivity. SWIRL can access information from all kinds of sources. Your company's databases shared, drives emails, even messaging platforms like Slack. It doesn't matter where the information is actually. SWIRL can find it.
So no more jumping between a bunch of different systems trying to hunt down one file. SWIRL can access everything.
That's right. And it's also built with security in mind. SWIRL integrates with your company's existing security, so you only see information that you're actually authorized to see. And importantly, your data actually stays where it is. It's not copied or moved to some external database.
So it actually addresses a lot of the concerns people have around data privacy and security.
Exactly. It's like having a trusted assistant who knows where everything is and makes sure it's always protected.
So if we think back to that lever analogy, SWIRL is kind of like the fulcrum that makes this AI lever work. It allows us to move this mountain of information with a lot more precision and ease.
Yeah, I like that. And at the end of the day, it's not about reading more information. It's about being able to find the right information quickly and efficiently when you need it. So it really is fascinating to think about how this could actually, work in the real world.
Yeah, right? Like how would this actually play out in like a typical day at work?
Well, the article actually goes into a few specific examples. Let's say you're working on some kind of project And you need to pull information from a bunch of different places, like customer relationship management systems, financial reports, market research, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling all too well. I swear I spent half my life just trying to find the right information.
Yeah, it can be a real pain. But with Swirl, the article suggests that this whole process could become so much more streamlined.
Yeah.
You basically just ask your question or say what information you need, and Swirl goes and does all the hard work. It looks through all those different sources, pulls out the relevant data, and then it gives it back to you in this nice, clear format.
So not only are you saving time, but you're also kind of like freeing up mental space, right? You don't have to do all that filtering yourself.
Exactly. And the article actually argues that this kind of boost in efficiency could benefit an entire organization. Teams could make decisions faster, they could respond to changes in the market more quickly, and ultimately become more competitive.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're not spending all your time gathering information, you can actually focus on, analyzing it and solving problems.
Right. And the article also highlights another really interesting potential benefit. It says that Swirl could actually help reduce bias in decision making.
Okay, how so?
Well, because Swirl pulls data from so many different sources
Hmm.
and presents it in a neutral way, it can help to overcome that human tendency we all have to kind of cherry pick information, you know?
That's really interesting. We always hear about the potential for bias in AI algorithms,
Yeah.
but you're saying that AI tools like Swirl could actually help reduce human bias.
It's definitely a possibility. Of course, no system is perfect. But the article suggests that Swirl's approach to data could lead to more objective decisions.
So it's not just about working faster or being more efficient, it's also about improving the quality of our decisions.
Exactly, and the article actually goes even further than just the practical benefits. It suggests that a system like Swirl could even contribute to a more fulfilling work experience.
Okay, now I'm really curious, how could that be?
Well, think about it. When you're constantly bombarded with information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and eventually burned out. But if you have a tool that helps you manage all that information effectively, you can kind of reclaim some of that mental space. You can actually focus on the work that you enjoy, the work that gives you a sense of purpose.
Well, it's not just about doing things faster, it's about making room for the work that actually energizes us.
Exactly. And it all comes back to this idea that AI used thoughtfully can enhance our human capabilities. It's not about replacing us, it's about giving us the tools to be better.
It's like giving us a superpower. The ability to navigate this crazy information landscape with more ease and purpose. Instead of being overwhelmed by data, we can actually use it to achieve our goals, make a real impact, and maybe even have some fun along the way.
Exactly. And I think that's the ultimate promise of a tool like Swirl, to empower us to do more, to be more, and to ultimately live better, more fulfilling lives.
Well, that's definitely a compelling argument. It's easy to get caught up in all the doom and gloom around information overload, but this conversation has given me some hope. It feels like there are solutions out there. And AI might just be the key to unlocking a future where information works for us, not against us.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're at this turning point. We've talked about all the problems of information overload, but this deep dive has also highlighted how powerful AI could be in helping us deal with it all.
And I think that's a really important thing to remember. It's easy to get caught up in that fear of technology,
Right.
the idea that AI is going to come for our jobs and make humans obsolete. But this article we've been talking about, it offers this different perspective. Yeah, it's not about replacing human intelligence. It's about augmenting it, right? Giving us the tools to do what we do best, but with more speed and efficiency and, deeper insights.
Exactly. And I think that brings us back to Swirl. It's not just a software program. It's kind of like a symbol of this new way of working with AI. It's a tool that helps us take advantage of all this information without being completely drowned by it.
It's like we're finally seeing AI live up to its promise, not as some kind of threat, but as a partner.
Right. And that partnership could open up so many possibilities. Just imagine being able to make decisions based on a really deep understanding of all the data that's out there. Imagine seeing patterns and trends that you would have never noticed on your own.
A world where we can solve really tough problems and innovate super fast and create a future that works for everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to think about.
It really is. And while Swirl is just one example, it feels like it's part of a bigger trend in AI.
Yeah.
This shift towards tools that help people instead of replacing them. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to you, the listener. We've explored all the challenges of information overload and some of the solutions that AI might offer. What are your thoughts? What really stuck with you?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your concerns, your hopes for the future. Because at the end of the day, the future of AI is something that we're all going to shape together.
That's so true. And remember, knowledge is power, but only if we can access it, understand it, and use it effectively. So stay curious, stay engaged, and stay informed.
Thank you for listening to the SWIRL AI Search podcast, brought to you by SWIRL AI Connect. For more information about SWIRL, please follow us on LinkedIn or visit www.swirlaiconnect.com.